Why is height only genetics? Why are my parents so short?
Please, if you are that guy, it's time to stop. If height is only genetics, what am I? Am I some sort of weird hybrid creature or something? Oh yes, and for those of you who are new to the channel, I am 6'2" in length, and my parents are 5'6" and 5'4" in length respectively. Now, what if I told you that for people who did exercise, and for people who didn't do exercise, there will be on average a 10 centimeter height gap between them, even if their parents are the same height. I know, it sounds crazy, but it is true, because there's actually science behind this theory. 10 centimeters, I'll show you how much that is. So if I didn't do exercise, I would probably only be this tall, like up to here. In this video, I'll give you a brief summary of the science behind this theory, and I will tell you about exercises which I did that made me this tall. So if you don't want to hear the science, feel free to skip to the height part. And if you guys are ready to expand lengthwise along with me, let's get right into the video. Yo, hold up. Just one last thing. If you guys can subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, comment, and share, I would really appreciate it. The science. Now, the science behind why exercise makes you taller isn't really that hard to explain. First of all, you get the sunlight, and sunlight means calcium, which means growth. Second of all, you get hunger craves, which means that you crave more food, you eat more food, and that makes you taller. And third, you sleep better, because after exercise your body's tired, you sleep better. And fourth, most importantly, exercise places your bones under tension. And by tension, I don't mean the bad tension, I mean the good tension. Just the right tension will get the maximum growth out of your bones. And yeah, that's basically the summary of why exercise makes you taller. Now, moving on to the exercises that I did. First one would definitely be tag, which I played throughout year 6 and year 7. Some variations include parkour tag on an obstacle course. Tag, especially played with a group of friends, gets extremely competitive and can be a great way of placing the bone under the optimal tension. For parkour tag, you jump up and off drops, which also load the shin bone. As you can see here, I'm jumping off the low drop. The drop can vary in height as well as length. The most important thing is to place your shin under stress. However, what you have to do is be careful with the jumps, because I have friends who've severely injured themselves doing parkour jumps like these. And as you can see here, I just did a massive jump. As I said, it can vary in length as well as height, as long as you're stressing the shin. Here are some exercises that I wish I did when I was growing. As you can see, these little hops places your shin under stress more specifically, which will lead to better results if you guys have the time for so. And as you can see, these massive jumps also load the shin to the optimal amount, which is even more specific. Now, some other sports will include basketball, rugby, soccer, kickboxing. Anything that's high intensity and places your shin under stress is okay. Now, if done right, your shin should feel a little stress. On a scale of 10, it's a 1 or a 2. If it's anything higher than that, you probably have growth pain related injuries, so you might need to consult your physiotherapist or physician. And also, for the exercising stuff, I really don't recommend people over the age of 15 going overboard with the exercise, because it can be damaging to their bones if their bones have already finished growing. So for the older people, I would steer you more towards the stretching stuff, which I will go through right now. The stretches. Now, stretches. I did all my stretches in my kickboxing and taekwondo classes. If you guys know martial arts, do martial arts or anything like that, you know that every session, they make you do stretches. And here are some of the stretches that I did. First up, we have the posterior calf stretch. This loosens up the calf muscle that's on the back of your leg. Now we have the standard reach for your toes, which loosens up the hamstring. Now we have the quad stretch, it loosens up the front quad. And now we have the core stretch, which loosens up your core. And now we have the anterior calf stretch. It loosens up the calf muscle around your tibia. Stretches are extremely important. They loosen up your muscle, which means that there will be less resistance on your bones at night, which is when you grow the most. And plus, stretches help you recover from your previous day of exercise, meaning that you can go hard again the very next day. Especially when you're young, this is very, very helpful, and I highly recommend these stretches. As you can see, it's basically a whole body stretch. If you want to go above and beyond, I would recommend doing some yoga. I didn't do yoga growing up, but I wish I did, because yoga is a much better way of stretching. It also makes you sleep better and so much benefits to yoga. However, it really is optional, as I can see why people don't want to do yoga when they're young. So it's up to you guys. Now here's the exercise which I wish I did when I was younger. This is recommended to me by my physiotherapist. All you have to do is look up and hang on a bar, and any bar would work. This will stretch your spine to make it longer. It would also help with your posture. If you're younger than 15, I would recommend 5 sets of 10 seconds every day. And if your back feels like it's a bit tired, then have a rest day and continue the next day. For those of you who are over the age of 15, I would recommend 3 sets of 10 seconds. And yeah, the same thing, if you're tired, just have a rest. Now for the summary. Now, just the overview of what your day should look like. Every day, you should accumulate at least 2 hours of high intensity exercise, such as basketball, soccer, football, rugby, or kickboxing, or anything that's very high intensity, or tag works too. Anything that's high intensity places your shin under stress. Plyometric training sessions are okay as well. If you want to train for vertical jumping, that's also very helpful. At the end of the day, at night, I would highly recommend you do 3 sets of each of those stretch and hold them for 10 seconds, as well as the arm hang. And try to sleep before 10 o'clock. As I reiterated before in my previous videos, sleep is very important. You've got to get the sleep in to grow. Also, if you experience any small pain around the body, make sure you stop all those exercises and take a few days to rest it up, and then continue the following day, because small pain can snowball into big injuries very quickly. Last but not least, I extremely highly recommend doing exercise, sleep, and eating right, all in conjunction, because one of these things will never get you to very tall, trust me. And that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Give me a comment and tell me what you want to see next. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.